Just going over a quick video on how to convert your Leica files to Topcon TP3 files. The files that will be needed are your control points, your regular points, surface file, as well as line work. You can pause the video, but here, control points I export as a text file, regular points also a text file, surface file, which is going to be your tin surface, which is what your machine control is actually going to be following, was extracted as an XML file. The line work was extracted as a DWG file. So first what you're going to do is open your Trimble Business Center. Once you get into Trimble Business Center, you want to click on this little white page, which will prompt you to a new default project. Click on that. It's going to take it a second to load. It should be a blank grid. At this point, you want to go to wherever you stored the file. I have it over here. We're going to start off with the line work. You're just going to click and drag the line work into your Business Center. Allow it to load. I'm gonna click no on wanting to view that. At this point, you can zoom out. I am not using a mouse. I'm using my trackpad, so I have to zoom out that way. Just select everything. You want to make sure you have the entirety of your project selected. It's then going to highlight it that nice pink color. You're going to click export. DWG exporter. We have 262 objects selected. We're going to want to change the file name. So click on those three little dots, pick where you want it to go. I'm going to go into here. But you can select wherever you want the file to go on your desktop. And you're going to want to name this line work. Click save. I have DWG version 13. Very important, make sure that your export unit is in US survey feet. Then you're going to click export. Perfect. So we are all done with that. We are going to do another new default project. We do not need to save that. I mean, you can if you'd like, but definitely not needed. Same deal. At this point, we are going to import our surface into here, however. So you just click, drag. We're going to use both definitions. Alrighty. We're going to go to view. We're going to zoom out again, just so it's a little bit easier to select the whole project. Just click and drag the entire project. It's going to highlight that nice pink color again. Go to project, export. Same thing, DWG exporter. We're then going to name this. We're going to go back to that folder that we have. And I'm going to name this surface file. Again, DWG13, export unit is going to be that US survey feet. Click export. Perfect. So that is all that you have to do in Trimble Business Center. I'm going to close out of that right now. Just takes a second. The next thing we want to open is Topcon 3D Office. At this point, we have in our folder, if I can find it, in our TP3 folder, we have a line work and a surface file. So in order to import the line work, you want to go into the line work tab, line work, import line work from AutoCAD file. Maybe save it in a easier spot to access it. So click line work. There we go, perfect. The line work has been imported. Then you want to go to tin, import tin from AutoCAD file. So that's our surface file. I'm just going to double click. It should load in, and if everything is done properly, once this is done loading, it should line up with the job file. This one sometimes does take a minute. Perfect. Alright, so as you can see, I mean, that's lined up pretty good. You have the building right there, you have your concrete pad, road, everything's lined up on the job properly. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. At this point, if you want to import your control points from that text file, you go to Project, Import Control Points from Text File. So it's very important to note that there's different formats that you have to create. So the format that's the generic one from the Leica is point, northing, easting, elevation, and description. If you did want to edit this, you can edit. You could add if you wanted another one, like if you're running mass cores, your point WGS 84 latitude, longitude, height. That should be in your data collector if it was properly localized on the network. But for right now, we are just going to use the point name, northing, easting, elevation, and description. Click next. We're going to click browse. Desktop. Let's hop back in that folder. So we are going to double click on control. Click finish. And everything should be in here properly. Normally we do like to see 4 control points. This is fortunately only has 3. But if you want to check to make sure that it did go in properly, click project, control points, and you can click edit. So northing, easting, elevation looks perfect. At this point, all we have done is import the line work, import the surface, as well as import the control points. If you do have any points like a manhole cover or whatnot, you could import them. For this job file, we do not, but how to do that would be points, import points from text file. Again, choose the correct format or create the format. Click next. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm just going to name it points 3. I'm going to browse. So we're just going to select this file right here. Finish. The files are not corresponding to this job, so they're way out here. If they were, they would align with, for example, manhole cover would have a point on a manhole cover. Which, I'm assuming that's a manhole cover right there. So it would just be aligned with that, and then you'd be able to go to points, point list view, and they should be labeled. So storm structure 1, storm structure 2. Again, if they were on the correct coordinate system, those would line up. And that is pretty much it. That is the basics of how to turn your Leica file into a Topcon TP3 file. Again, you will have to export all of those files in that particular file type. So again, just to recap, control points and a text file. You can also do an Excel file, but the way that I showed you is using a text file. The points, again, using a text file, they're able to be extracted in Excel format. In the video, we did not do that. Surface file was extracted as an XML file, which is like a land XML file. It can be extracted in a DWG and it would still work. Again, if Leica allows you to. Same with line work from the data collector, it was extracted as a DWG file, and then we basically just converted it. So hopefully this video is informative and it helped, and see you next time.